Budō is a Japanese term describing modern Japanese martial arts. Literally translated, it means the martial way, and may be thought of as the way of war. Etymology: Budō is a compound of the root bu, meaning war or martial, and do, meaning path or way. The term refers to the idea of formulating propositions, subjecting them to philosophical critique, and then following a path to realize them. It signifies a way of life. Do, in the Japanese context, is an experiential term. Experiential in the sense that practice is the norm to verify the validity of the discipline cultivated through a given art form. Modern Budō has no external enemy, only the internal enemy, one's ego, that must be fought. Similarly to Budō, Bujutsu is a compound of the roots bu and jutsu, meaning technique. Thus, Budō is translated as martial way, or the way of war, while Bujutsu is translated as science of war or martial craft. Quote, however, both Budō and Bujutsu are used interchangeably in English with the term martial arts. Budō and Bujutsu have quite a delicate difference, whereas Bujutsu only gives attention to the physical part of fighting. Budō also gives attention to the mind and how one should develop oneself. Typical Budō styles: karate, judo, aikido, kendo, kyudo, judo, aikido, shorinji kempo, atarashi naginata, waraku, bujutsu. It may be difficult to delineate the differences between Budō and Bujutsu. Sometimes the differences are considered historical, others cite differences in training methods, training philosophy, or emphasis on spiritual development. In modern usage, Bujutsu, meaning martial art, military science, is typified by its practical application of technique to real-world battlefield situations. Budō, meaning martial way, has a more philosophical emphasis. Civilian versus military. Many consider Budō a more civilian form of martial arts, as an interpretation or evolution of the older Bujutsu, which they categorize as a more militaristic style of strategy. According to this distinction, the modern civilian art emphasizes practicality and effectiveness in favor of personal development from a fitness or spiritual perspective. The differences between the more civilian versus military aspects of combat and personal development. They see Budō and Bujutsu as representing a particular strategy or philosophy regarding combat systems, but still, the terms are rather loosely applied and often interchangeable. Art versus lifestyle. One view is that a Bujutsu is the martial art you practice, whereas a Budō is the lifestyle you live and the path you walk by practicing of Bujutsu. For example, one could say that judo and jujutsu practiced as a practice martial art are one and the same, being that the practice of the art jujutsu leads to obtaining the lifestyle of judo. That would be true with arts such as kenjutsu, kendo and iijutsu, aikido as well. Sport Budō was featured in the Summer Olympic Games demonstration program in 1964.